Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome to Clive Eariss' photography channel and coffee. Today I'm going to give you an idea of shooting in the rain. Just a little short few tips on that on here. It's absolutely pouring down outside at the moment. I mean, it's really pouring. But tell me something, would that actually stop you going out taking photos? For many photographers, yeah, it would actually stop them going out taking photos, because one is because of the weather, and two is literally because of the fact that it is raining, really hard. But having said that, even if you haven't got a weatherproof camera, let's take for instance that you live near a village or a town or a city that you know quite well, and you get an idea of where some of the big puddles are and some of the droplets on the windows. It can change the perspective of your photography absolutely completely. Now, taking a chance and going out when it's raining is not actually really a big deal. It may be to you, and what I would suggest is this. Sometimes we all have to come out of our comfort zone and try something different. Well, we don't have to, but it's really good to, right? Okay, so it's pouring down with rain, you're out with your camera, you've got a brolly, which obviously helps keep yourself dry, because you want to try and keep as comfortable as you can when you're outside in, fairly bad weather. Having said that, even though it's raining, this time of year it's quite warm, depending on what country you're in. But don't let the rain stop you going out and getting some of those photos, because some of the puddles, reflections on the glass, people with brollies can make amazing photos. And the great thing is, a lot of other photographers won't go out when the weather's like that. They say, no, it's pouring down with rain, I'm not going to do that. Well, I suggest if you get the chance and you're willing to come out of your comfort zone a little bit, go out and get those photos, because you can get some extraordinary photos. Not only that, it can bring out your creativity a little bit more, because you also end up seeing shots that you wouldn't normally see when the weather's dry. You'll see puddles turning up, all over the place, out of the ordinary, and you think, wow, look at the reflections in that puddle. I'm always looking at puddles, even if I haven't got my camera with me, which most of the time I have. But if I've got my phone with me or something like that, then I'll try and grab a shot. I may not necessarily use it, but I will keep that shot and remember where that puddle actually appeared when it did rain. Now, that's one of the key features, is if you get a chance, even if you use your camera or your phone, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, as I said to you before, a camera is simply a tool, and that's it. It's you as the person behind the camera that creates that shot, right? So, okay, so you've got your camera with you, you've got your phone with you. Maybe you're not quite ready to get the shots, but at the same time, take a photo where that puddle is, because one day you might get some more rain than usual. The puddle's going to be larger puddles, more reflections, and that can change the composition of your photo as well straight away. So going out in the rain, just make sure you're warm, grab a coffee when you can. But if you're in a city or a town, there are some great places to get some reflections, and some great places also to stand underneath and shelter. You're going to need a cloth to wipe your lens every now and then, obviously, because of the water. If your camera's not weatherproof, just get a small bag or something. There's a lot of items on different social websites that you can buy to help protect your camera. But just go out there, grab those shots and see what you can come back with. Some of the shots on the ground when you've got these puddles, the puddles can be really, really nice as a foreground, leading to something more interesting. I've got some photos that I'm going to put up, just 4 or 5 clips at the end of this roll, just to help give you some ideas. But just go out, as I say, if it's raining, go out there. Just have a go, see what you can come back with. Because there's a good chance you'll end up getting some shots that nobody else is bothered with. And when other people look at what you've actually taken, they're going to think, wow, look at that. That's amazing. I didn't even see that. Or I didn't want to go out when it was raining. That's fair enough. We're all different. As for me, if it's pouring down with rain, I'll still go to London anyway, because I've been lucky to, I only live 17 miles from London, so I'll just get on a train and take a chance, and even if I come back with just 1 or 2 shots, it doesn't matter. It's just helping to creativity, improve your compositions, get a little bit more confident when you're out there as well, trying to get those shots, so yeah, it really, really works out well. Welcome to the channel. My name's Clive Eariss. This is Clive Eariss and Coffee channel, and I'm just beginning to produce some new channels for you. There's a few videos. If you check on the last video that I've done between Waterloo Station up to the Tower Bridge, although it was raining that day, it was a really nice sunny day, I did use some of the windows to get some nice reflective compositions in there. So if you happen to live around London, or even in your own town, there's always windows and that and reflections to capture. Try and look for some of those reflections and think, oh, I can do something with this. Because it's very, very easy with photography. A lot of photographers tend to kind of look straight ahead and not so much up and down and all around, and it really pays to do that. At one time when I was starting, everything to me was virtually sort of straight. Now I'm just, my eyes are all over the place. I'm trying to find something else to add to that composition and make the photo just so it stand out a little bit more. Some of the other channels will be helping you out with lighting, shadows, you know, getting some of the highlights sorted out, and just basically going up and down and using the camera to create some different angles of the shots instead of the usual angles where you're taking the shot waist height. That again is something that I always used to do, is just take the shot normally at waist height. Now I'll put the camera on the ground and move it around and try and get all these different photos as I can. And the other thing is also, as I said before, if you're just starting photography, come out of the auto mode. Take your camera out of auto mode, because when you want to buy a camera at the end of the day, you don't want that camera to be in control of you. You're the one who wants to control the camera. So as a suggestion, not that you have to do it, but it works really well, and probably over 80% of photographers use this kind of mode, and that is to switch the camera onto A. Click it onto aperture priority, and the main reason that I use aperture priority is this. When I adjust the aperture, the camera will automatically adjust the shutter for me, and most of the time you'll get the correct exposure. Now, by being in auto, yeah, a lot of the cameras these days, because technology has moved on so well, do produce some very good photos in auto, but the only problem is they're much better in aperture priority. You tend to get a better exposed photo as well. And also, here's another little saying as well, is developing the photographic eye. You'll probably go to a place that you've been many, many times before and you know it really well. But are there subjects that you've actually missed along the way? So there's the photographers that look, and there are photographers that see, and you want to be into that second category as the photographer that actually sees. You see subjects that other people simply walk past as your photographic eye develops, and that becomes really exciting. So I took a group of people, I put the video up probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago on the ecological park, which is at North Greenwich in London. And I put them through just a little test as a bit of fun. I put 2 people in front and 4 people behind. The 2 people in front were complete beginners, and the 4 people behind were intermittent photographers. And the people behind managed to take a few shots that I was looking at a window on the right hand side, and they moved around using the lines of the window to frame the composition. Now you could get the whole composition in the window and have a panoramic effect, or you could just use one single frame and just get an image through there. And that was quite an interesting experiment as well. Developing the photographic eye as you go along is really, really exciting. And sometimes people will pick it up quite quickly. Sometimes it takes people a little bit longer. But as your photographic eye does develop, then it changes your game completely, because other people look at your photos will think, well, I've been there many times in that town, but I've never actually seen that shot. So that's another way of really sort of getting to grips with photography as well. But photography is a complete passion. It's a love. And the more you feel about what you're taking of your subject and you're clicking on your subject, the more enjoyable it becomes, and you'll be progressing. There's no such thing as such as failing at photography. You simply learned a lesson. The word fail doesn't really come into mind. It's just a lesson learned. And I still sometimes come back and think, well, why didn't I get that shot? Maybe I was distracted. But I write a note down at the time and think, okay, I'll go back and get that shot another time. It's not going anywhere. Not quite the same with street photography, but that's a different subject that we'll go into later on. So just basically go out there and just see what you can do with your photos. But if you have any you know, ideas or tips that you want to run by me, or you're something you're not sure, just please get in touch, and I'll get back to you and try and help you with your photography to improve to where you're going. And it also at the same time depends where you want to go with your photography as well. When I meet new people, I say, what do you want to do with your photography? And they look at me a little bit puzzled, you know, what do I want to do? Do you want to progress further and improve your photography? Are you happy with your photography? Are there certain things with your photography that you can't quite get a grasp on, and you know, you want to know more about? Yeah, I mean, there's so many subjects and so many things with photography. It just make it so exciting. I mean, every time you go out to take some photos, it's a new chapter, it's a new day in your book, and it never ever becomes boring. Although there are stages when we all hit what's known as a wall, and sometimes you get a bit frustrated about your photography and think, well, I'm not really sure what to do, I'm not sure what photos to take. And we all hit that wall sometimes. So I just basically go onto YouTube and look at what other people are doing with their photography, and the inspiration comes back really, really quickly, and so does the excitement, because I've only got to see 1 or 2 channels and I think, oh, that's a really cool idea, I'm going to give that and go and see what happens. But this is the place for you to come if you know, you want to get the grips of your photography and the basics. This is for basically people who are just starting their photography, or if you're an intermediate photographer but you want to progress a bit further, then you come to the right place. So I'm still working on my channels. Next week I've got a photography trip in London. I'm going to do a vlog on that, but I'm also going to include some photos on that as well. And the week after will be some light street photography at a very, very busy place in London. And there's lots of entertainment and actors and buskers and loads of things going on there, so that should be pretty cool as well. So if you know, want to know more, okay, that's great. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, press that little subscribe button down there on the right hand side. There's a tiny little box on there, and put the thumbs up, and if you don't like it, put the thumbs down, that's fine. So just a little guide and a little tip. But as I say before, if it's raining, go out and take some photos. I'm going to put 2 or 3, 4 photos up at the end of this clip. You can have a little run through them, perhaps it will give you some ideas and help with your creations. And I wish you all the very best of luck with your photography. I hope you're all well, and it's great to have you on board. And I'm going to catch up with you soon. All the best. Bye.